What's going on, YouTube world? This is the Shred Academy, and welcome back to another episode of What the F Happened, the only crash video on the internet that not only shows you awesome crashes, but shows you why they happen so you don't make the same mistake. So let's get to watching some people crash and finding out why.
Oh!
All right, let's open her up with this one. It's a good one. Oh, he knew he wasn't making it. Oh, and again. Oh, come on, one more time. I hate to be, but it's that good of a crash. Oh, okay. I've watched this video several times. And at first I thought it was just, all right, this guy literally came into this lip thinking he was going to clear it with speed and just ride off with no body form, and that's why he just caught a chest full of handlebar. But while that is correct, as I watched this video a lot further and many more times, I want you guys to take a look at him coming right through this section and then how squirrely he gets right here. Now, if you ask me if it was a little clear, I'm not sure if right here he tries to take a pedal stroke. Even when I slow this down in slow-mo, it's still a little too pixelated. But that's what starts the whole thing off. So right as he comes down, right there, right, you can kind of see his leg super far out. He gets completely shoved into his bike in this compression. So not pumping through this and kind of probably just hanging on as he sped down kind of helped him lose control there. Now, am I gonna say that otherwise he would have had a little bit of nice form here, getting his hips back behind the bottom bracket, kind of over that rear axle, letting his upper body lean back to elongate the arms to create a counterweight for this front wheel to keep going in the air. And then as his rear wheel leaves, he could have pulled his hips up and over the top tube, kind of like you normally would, right, guys? I'm not telling you anything you haven't heard in one of my instructional videos. We don't get any of that to add the extra height. He kind of does pull himself forward a little bit. I'll give you that, but just wasn't enough. So, you know, emulating that J-hop, hips back over the rear triangle, creating preload, while all being able to lean back while pushing in, right? And then getting that explosion off the edge, off on that rear tire to create a nice, mellow, solid arc. But to start that, you're gonna have to make sure you don't get sucked into the G-forces of transitions like this coming down run-ins. All right, guys, I think that clears that up. All right, this one's really brutal. Oh, again. Oh, one more time in slow-mo. Oh, now Dad drops the camera. I hope he's okay. First things first, I don't know, this must be a mountain bike trail or something, but let's take a look at this. 3-foot lip to gotta be a 15-foot tabletop that has a concrete block, you know, slab as that. And then, okay, yeah, we have a concrete slab landing. Great. I mean, got to repurpose. But this is my problem with this. 3 feet to 15 feet. This means that whoever is jumping this has to be key on their form as well as going fast as hell. I mean, his whole bike doesn't even fit on this lip, right? His front tire is off just as his back tire is reaching this transition. So him, again, using the stand up to the jump form, I hate to say it, pedals in, nice, kind of relaxed. We get a preload there, and then he's straight up in the air. Before his back wheel is even in like the picture of the edge of the lip of the quote unquote jump there, he's hips to bar, right? So all that weight is off of that rear tire. Now, especially being this a hardtail, now that's going to translate right into throwing this up. As it happens, throws his rear wheel up. There's no way he's saving that from right there. He's just along for the ride. I mean, he was close. If he wouldn't have cased that, and wow, if you look at his rim, look at the actual rim itself. I think that's the rim kind of just folding there a little bit. And then, man, straight to the face. I really hope he's okay. I'm sorry, this is just kind of too fun with the pen I have here. But, so ways to avoid this. Don't build a 15-foot tabletop with a 3-foot lip. The math just doesn't add up. You're going to make things harder on yourself and unsafe for people trying to learn. Shout out to all those local trail systems. Second thing is, don't use the stand up to the jump method. You're going to have to get those hips back here so you can more or less drive this rear wheel up and pop off the rear wheel. I bet he would have made it if he would have had that form, but that works on jumps that are only this big. He would have made it, but the extra 5 to 6 feet here just didn't help him out. Again, man, sorry, kid. This one comes to us from one of our own subscribers, Owen Thomas. Pardon the language. This crash is actually an older crash for him, but he likes the show, so he wanted to contribute. Now, he says that he felt like a dead sailor, bunch of injuries on this one, missing teeth. Now, first things first, notice that as he comes in here, as he's kind of off the ground, and then on the ground, right here, off the ground, into the compression, right? So right as he's going into this compression, he's kind of throwing his body weight, you know, off kilter, if you will. This last roller, he definitely would have wanted to make sure he stayed on the ground. Now, as he goes up, he's not coming back into that rear third of the bike to put his hips back over that rear axle. He's kind of staying in the front of the bike. Now what happens is, even though he has the speed, so his front tire kind of keeps going up, right here, you can watch the front wheel kind of just get ripped down, and now his body motions just kind of halt. Okay, now dead sailors most often happen when two forces are opposing. Either one's trying to go up, and at the same time one's trying to go down. Right here, he's trying to go up, but right as that front end starts to dive down, that pulls his front half down and it stops his motion of up, which kind of causes this dead sailor feeling like you're just a passenger, definitely not a pilot. And then if we watch to the end, you know, he kind of just started leaning to the side as he came down, which that's the dead sailor, right? When you're in the air, you're kind of just, oh crap, I'm just hanging out. And you start to fall to one side or the other. And again, that's usually because as you're going up and trying to go up, the bike stops you somehow. Whether it's the front wheel diving or you not taking it with you. Usually that happens with a stand up to the jump. As you stand up and you're not taking the bike with you, all your upward motion just stops, right? And then you get that dead sailor. But anyway, Owen, really appreciate you sending this in. I'm glad this is old and you're back on the bike in the old Switzerland. Keep the rubber side down, bud. Thanks for watching. Oh, just another great one. Same thing, more or less, from the front angle. Good old South Florida always provides awesome crash videos. Write her down. Let's watch this one more time. Can everyone see where the dead sailor happens? I mean, let's just take this forward. Super easy to see here. Now, I can't see the body, so I can't say anything about it. But Notice the knees bent as we're going off the lip. And then right there, that's the kick of the rear suspension. And now you're going to see the fork plummet down towards the ground. His arms will extend, and his body more or less goes limp. Right? Can everyone see it? You can't see it in slow-mo, so we'll watch it again. It's fantastic. He gets up. So just absolutely no form off the lip. Friends just saying, just ride off. Classic, right? Kind of scared. Notice how bent the arms are, bent the knees are. That rear suspension's compacting. Now, since the fork is rebounding, that's going to help it get driven towards the ground, right? There's nothing back here helping you kind of counteract that. Same thing, as that's happening, that rear shock releases and also helps that motion. So right here, this guy is toast. I'm really glad he's okay. It's too good not to watch because he gets up again. All right, guys, thanks. All right, we're gonna finish off with another South Florida trail system. Grapefruit trails, really fun trail system. But a lot of it is kind of geared towards dirt jumpers. Short lips, big distance, short landings, which is all well and good. They all work. Now, if we take a look at this guy, he's just pedaling in for dear life. That front wheel is diving before he takes off the rear wheel, right? Now, what happens is, as he comes in, he lands, he's thinking, man, I'm pretty good. But notice how the landing goes right into the next transition. And that's how dirt jumps are built. I mean, you just keep that flow going. Now, you can do this on a full suspension bike, but it takes a lot more effort because as you land, that suspension is gonna have to settle again, and then it's gonna get pushed back into this next lip. And if we watch this gentleman, he just gets shoved down into the bike through the compression of landing. Woof. And then as he's going up, he's like, nah, this isn't gonna happen. This isn't gonna happen. But watch the rear suspension throw this guy literally off his bike, almost clears it, right? But the sheer being stuffed down into the bike because of the transition causes him to not be able to push back into the lip of the jump, which causes him to get sucked in even more. And now the front wheel keeps going up because he's all the way in that rear third, right? That's why that front wheel doesn't just dive all of a sudden. But as soon as that rear wheel leaves, whoop. And he sounds pretty happy about it for sure. Really glad this guy was having fun and walked away, lived to fight and fly another day. Thanks for coming along, guys.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed these crashes. I hope you learned something so you know what not to do so you don't end up one of those guys. If you have a clip that you'd like to send us, make sure that you email it over to us. The link is in the description. If we don't see you till next time, make sure you try to keep that rubber side down. If you'd like to support the channel, we've got a few ways. You can become a Patreon. The link is in the description. 37 cents a day can make a huge difference in this small content creator's life. You can also leave a tip through my PayPal account, friends and family now. As well, you can buy some merch. We've got merch. If I don't see you till next time, guys, take it easy.